got into that 23-year-old Negro woman and she knocked him down. Now he is at the Princess Margaret Hospital and he is in serious condition. So we won't consider that an abuse of the man. In our society, we have been so anti-men that I'm certain that nobody cares, but it's a criminal offense. And I call on women everywhere to control their anger and do not resort to this kind of violence. So, a murder last night where a Negro man in Ridgeland Park, he was walking along the street, perhaps around 10:15 p.m., when a car, a Japanese car, pulled up with Negro people. They opened fire and they shot him to pieces. Taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital, there he perished. And at this moment, the government is debating a gangster bill. We'll look at that as well. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Welcome back to Freedom Match. My name is Rodney Monka. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Last night was horrible. We had two men who were viciously assaulted. One died when he was walking in Ridgeland Park and a Japanese vehicle pulled up. A Negro man exited, opened fire upon him multiple times, and the ambulance had to be called for that man. He was rushed to the Princess Margaret Hospital, but he subsequently died. And then last night, in addition to that, a Negro man being chauffeured by a Negro female, they had a domestic type dispute, and he decided, it is alleged, for peace sake, he would exit the vehicle, and it is alleged that the Negro woman then proceeded to pick up speed and knock him down. Now he, I am advised, is also at the Princess Margaret Hospital fighting for his life. These two assaults has come about at a point in our history when the debate about domestic violence and abuse of women is being widely discussed, and we now see two evidence of man's inhumanity to man. A man driving a Japanese vehicle, he killed a man, and a woman whose vehicle has not been identified, she subsequently knocked down a 39-year-old man. She is alleged to be like 23 years old. So it's a very sad, sad day in our nation, as the Bahamian people seems to be bloodthirsty. Murder is in our heart, and we are carrying out the action. And while all of that is taking place, today in the Parliament, there is a bill, a gangster bill, that is being debated. And when I came upstairs in the studio, West End and Bimini Member of Parliament, Kingsley Smith, was on the floor discussing the gangster bill. So in the course of the show, we're going to advocate that all Japanese vehicles should be declared illegal, and if that could not possibly work, Japanese vehicles should only be sold to people between the ages of 55 and over. And a good substitute would be American vehicles, because there is no evidence yet that American vehicles have been used to commit the many acts of terrorism, the many acts of drive-by shooting, the many acts that harbor and allow Negro gunmen to move swiftly and efficiently throughout these various narrow streets and to commit murder and escape. We'll talk about it. I'm certain now my spiritual advisor is ready. Bradley Rule, welcome to Freedom Man.
Thank you so much. Good to be here, Sandra. We're going to look today at the book of Mark, chapter 9, 42 to 47. Jesus, of course, here is speaking about causing the little ones to stumble. And so Jesus is saying, if anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them if a large millstone were hung around their neck and they were thrown into the sea. If your hand causes you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life maimed than with two hands to go into hell, where the fire never goes out. That's interesting. And if your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life crippled than to have 2 feet and to be thrown into hell. And if your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with one eye than to have 2 eyes, be thrown into hell. Mark 9, 42 to 47. I know this sounds like a very harsh thing. I don't think Jesus Christ meant it literally, but I think we understand the message about making that extra sacrifice to make sure that we do the right thing, and the sacrifice that we would have to make sure that we enter the kingdom at all costs. Read it in your spare times. It's a very powerful lesson indeed. I read from the NIV. The word of God is always blessed indeed. Amen. Back to you, Senator.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. So, folks, Nassau has been shedding lots of blood. We have seen an escalation in murders and attempted murder. And we have seen a faction of our society who has principally been putting the murders just on men, when in fact, in the Bahamas, mankind is guilty of these crimes. And I began the show by drawing to your attention that a 23-year-old Negro woman was driving a vehicle in the Carmichael Road area last night when she and a 39-year-old Negro male got into what some people concluded was a domestic dispute. And in the course of that dispute, the man decided he would exit the vehicle. And, you know, under normal circumstances, that is a good thing. If there's a dispute, you just jump out of the vehicle. Well, he made a mistake. He jumped out of the vehicle, and the woman picked up speed and knocked the hell out of him, almost literally killing him. So we are told that he is now in hospital, suffering from some very, very serious injuries. So that's what has happened. And in all the talk about the violence against women, we're now seeing that women is just as mean, just as vicious, just as unsafe as the men. So it's a very sad day in our society. And then, of course, in the Ridgeland Park area, Ridgeland Park has had a lot of murders in that community. And last night, a man happened to be walking along one of the major streets of Ridgeland Park. And if I have it correctly, Ridgeland Park would fall in the constituency, I think, of Angliston. I might be wrong. And that man got a shock of his life when a Japanese vehicle pulled up. A Negro man exited the Japanese vehicle. He was heavily armed. He opened fire, shooting the man multiple times. Members of the public contacted the ambulance services that rushed him to the government's own Princess Margaret Hospital, but he subsequently died. So the murder count has gone up 1 score, and you will note that murders are taking place like twice a day. I really don't even remember what the count is. It could be now 43 murders. And notwithstanding that Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernanda has brought us some comfort, he tells us that crime is down, but murders are up. So we thank God that crime is down, but we ask the Lord to do something with the amount of murders taking place. My spiritual advisor, in view of the fact that on the face of it, the majority of the vehicles which are being utilized for armed robbery, for murders, because we are now hearing from police that there has been a tremendous increase in armed robberies. So in view of the fact that armed robberies are on the increase, murders are on the increase, and the car of favorite seems to be those cursed Japanese vehicle. Shouldn't the government just ban Japanese vehicle and insist that going forward all vehicles will come from the United States, because the American car appears to be too big to commit murder and escape?
I mean, obviously it does seem as if the Japanese vehicles that are more user-friendly, they're smaller, they're more compact, They're the favorite of the vehicles of the poor man, because $5,000 can get you a really nice refurbished Japanese vehicle that takes about 2 to 3 months to get here to the Bahamas from Japan. And of course, as you look on the streets, over the last 10 years in particular, the Japanese vehicles have taken the market by storm. And I think that's one of the reasons why we see just about in every case as relates to murder or some incident that affects society, you would see the car of choice is the Japanese vehicle. You know, I guess some folks may argue with you that they believe if the government decides to ban Japanese vehicles, that this could be stretching into maybe citizens' rights to own a vehicle of their choice. But I think the government can do it if they feel like this is going to help to deal with the crime problem. Although, like we always talk about guns, we always say that guns don't kill people, but people with guns kill people. And so that could be reversed as relates to Japanese vehicles and say, well, Japanese vehicles don't commit crime. It's the people with the Japanese vehicles that commit the crimes. But I understand the argument. I thought about it too. You know, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't understand that part of it as far as infringing on your rights to own a vehicle, especially in a democratic society like the Bahamas. I don't know, it may be a stretch for the government to decide to ban Japanese vehicles. They most certainly can do it if they feel the need to. But what does that do to the mindset? Does that change the mindset of those who are actually committing these heinous crimes? That's, I guess,
well,
the argument,
could we then not add a killing tax, a murder tax? I know there's a tax on old car tires.
Or what we could do, I think the government has a particular law in place as it relates to used vehicles.
Okay.
You can bring in a used vehicle up to 10 years.
Okay.
Maybe if they change it to 3 years, you would see a drastic change, because the average person won't be able to afford a car that is older than 3 years old.
You really think so?
Yeah.
You don't think the Japanese would drop the price?
No, they won't. No, they won't. They won't. The reason why, remember, Japan has a lot of car makers. You know, you got Suzuki, you got Honda, you got Toyota, you know, all these various vehicle manufacturers. And so if the newer the vehicle is, the more expensive it is. So if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that there is a law in place where if your vehicle is 10 years and newer, you can actually bring it in. See what I'm saying? So if it's 10 years and older, you have to go to the Ministry of Finance, I think, to get a special permit to import the vehicle. So maybe they change the year. Say, listen, we're changing the law. If you want to own a used car, it cannot be no older than 3 years old. And I can tell you, you'll see a big difference on the streets.
And you don't think the gunmen, the murderers, the gangsters will not be able to afford a car that is much younger?
I can tell you it will knock into that market that is able to afford the 10-year-old and newer vehicle. I can tell you that. You know, because, you know, this is now what? This is 2024?
Yes.
So you can actually bring in a car that's 2014. That's affordable. A car 10 years old is affordable. You know, you can work for about 3 or 4 months and be able to buy it. You see? But if you change the time limit or the age on the vehicle, if you say, listen, you can only have a vehicle that's, if it's a used vehicle, can't be older than 3 years.
Or if it is a used vehicle, it must come from the United States.
Then that would change
and it must be a big Ford, Mustang, or what are some other cars?
But you know, the thing is with cars nowadays, most of the vehicles nowadays are moving towards this new technology.
What is that?
Which is hybrid or fully electric. And those vehicles are in the hands of those who could really afford them.
Okay.
Right? Not the average person won't be able to afford a hybrid.
But isn't electricity being given free at the sports center? I have seen a number of huge sockets.
They get plug-ins? You can go and charge the vehicle?
Well, you just go there and push it in.
But the thing is as it relates to being able to afford the vehicle, because some those electric vehicles and hybrids are somewhat, choicey as it relates to price. But yeah, the reality is, and I understand what you're saying, is that every time you see something going on in the country as relates to drive-by shooting, some murder-related incident, or some crime, the getaway car is always a Japanese vehicle. So it makes you wonder if we are to change. We're trying to change the method of commute that these criminals use, or are we trying to concentrate on changing their mind? I know the intellectual folks won't submit to that argument. They won't buy your argument that the government needs to now put a ban on Japanese vehicles. We're trying to find a way to get laws in place to get men who commit these crimes, women who commit these crimes, citizens in general who commit these crimes, to have a change of mind. And that's only going to be done through stiffer penalties and, of course, enforcing the law, in my opinion. But for me, if you were to be extreme, yeah, man, I'll say put a ban on Japanese vehicles and let's see what happens.
Well, meanwhile, in the House of Assembly, West End and Bimini Member of Parliament Kingsley Smith is debating the new gangster bill. The government has moved to strengthen the law as it relates to gangsterism, and is making provision for harsher penalties. For instance, if you have been declared a gangster, or if you have been found guilty of recruiting underage boys, the penalty for both crimes, I'm advised, is like 25 years. And then, of course, if you are convicted of murder, it appears that the penalty for that is 25 years, even though the maximum penalty today is hanging. Don't mind the fact that they may not be executing these Negro citizens. It's hanging, and the penalty for attempted murder is life in prison. So is this amendment as strong and as powerful as we would like to see it? And I would want to think. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monka. Should we make Japanese vehicle illegal and import American big car and big truck? They wouldn't be able to commit murder and ride wrong here. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save King Charles. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and I think at this point we're going to pay our first bill. My spiritual advisor, if it pleases you, will you please read the
first ad? Yes, absolutely. Tired of waiting in lines? Wait no more. Download the MoneyMax app today. The powerful application enables you to pay all your utility bills, purchase top-ups, spend Sound Dollar with Sound Dollar enabled, merchants, and much more. Sign up for the convenience with MoneyMax. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. MoneyMax. Live your max life.
And of course, that is very powerful indeed, my spiritual advisor. Very powerful.
Absolutely.
So, folks, the Parliament is in session. There's a big debate taking place. It is a strategy by the governing Progressive Liberal Party to manage gangsterism. And you will know that there appears to be lots of gangsterism taking place in the country. And so the Prime Minister hopes to rope it in by having some bold political initiative. I do regret that as we strive to identify gangsters and to punish them, there is no strong penalty for the gangsters who commit the high crime of murder. And you will take note that we have been having a series of murders, and the authorities continue to tell us that notwithstanding the killings, the murders, that crime has dropped. And that might be true, you know, but as long as people are being killed, it becomes very difficult for you to put aside your emotionalism and see that there is no crime, because every time a citizen is gunned down, a citizen is killed, that is a clear sign that murder is taking place in our society. So it's a very sad and tragic thing, and we're very concerned over it. What is the solution to this increase, and how do we deal with the gangsters? Because clearly everybody is convinced that what we are saying is the works of gangsterism, but we seem not to be brave enough, not to be bold enough to manhandle the gangsters. So the gangsters are winning the war. No one is afraid of civil authority. No one is afraid of state authority, and that is never to be. Citizens are required to always agree to obey the law. And when you refuse to obey the law, then you have to be dealt with. And unfortunately, that is not happening if we just count the many killings that are taking place. So it's a very tragic situation. You would recall that over the last couple of days, I told you that I had an opportunity to speak with the minister responsible for social services, and that would be the Honorable Miles LaRota, because I drawn to his attention that there is a new position in the country to sell babies. And while many of us may think it's a big joke, it has come to my attention that they want to sell babies. And it appears that there's a big market on Grand Bahama. So I don't want the people of Grand Bahama to be upset, but it has been drawn to my attention that there is an emerging market on Grand Bahama, and I'm opposed to it. It makes me very unhappy. It makes me very emotionally distraught when I think about the fact that people are contemplating selling their babies, and all of this comes in the midst of emerging allegation that children in our society are being abused. And there are people who is attempting to shift the blame, and there are people who want to suggest that the babies in the country that are being abused are children of Haitian parents. And I want to publicly refute that there are no children born to Haitian women in the Bahamas who are being abused. The Haitian people are not selling babies. In fact, we do not sell babies. Okay? We don't. So I want people to stop that. In order to combat abuse of children, we are to just investigate. If there is evidence of any child being abused, investigation is to be conducted. We're not to go in and say, oh, Haitian abusing children. That is not true. And in every family, there's always the possibility that children could be abused. But when you start running on, because in the District of New Providence was a debate taking place, and it has been suggested by some very educated people that these children who are being abused are Haitian children. So I decided at one point I would just stand up at a certain corner in Baintown where I know there are scores of children of Haitian descent, so I could see them pass going to school, so I can interact to see if what was being suggested could have some truth in it. But there was no evidence of that, and I wanted to stop. And the reason why I wanted to stop is we must not do that. I want, if you have evidence that a Haitian person is abusing their children, then bring the evidence, all right? Let's not stigmatize, because I'm in a position to give you many examples of Bahamians who have abused children. And I can only tell you about one Haitian woman who I know has abused her son. And I think that happened about in 1974. And he had stolen a piece of meat. He was told not to do so, and he did. And his mother held his hand in the pot. And as a result of that, his hands were damaged. And every time you see him, he has his hand in his pocket. But I could also tell you of a Bahamian woman who comes from a certain street off Market Street. Her son did the same thing. And she took a knife and stabbed him to death in 1980. So you see, I can give you examples. So there are parents who from time to time may have run afoul of the law. But by and large, no, it isn't happening. And if people have evidence, they should report it to social services. They should call the police. But I don't want people to be saying, oh, the Haitian is just abusing his children. People abuse children, and to the extent that we find that they're doing it, the law is to be called in. We are not to stigmatize people. After all, I'm right here to defend the Haitian people and to remind Bahamians. Every time you find a Haitian who you think abused a child, I can find you a Bahamian and take it from me. I can tell you the name of the woman right now. And I can tell you precisely where she lived in 1980 and where she was working, because me and her was working the same place in 1980. Watch out for me. So I don't want nobody to run on. So my spiritual advisor, there's been this talk about child abuse.
Child abuse, yeah. What's the percentage? Is it 67% or 87%?
The minister says 87.
87%.
Yeah.
Now that's a concern. It should not have even gotten to that percentage.
But the minister needs to act.
But here's something I want you to think about, though, right?
Okay.
What's the percentage in the country, as we know, as relates to children born outside of wedlock?
Okay.
What's the percentage?
The majority of the Negroes born in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas are born outside of wedlock.
Some 85%. The last time.
Okay.
So here's what could be the problem. All right. I know a lot of cases where a young lady falls in love with a young man, supposedly, because a lot of them don't understand love. All right. The majority of them believe love is a feeling. Love is the guy, the bad boy with the plait on the side of the head, right? Love is the bad boy with the pants dropped down and you can see his underwear. Love is the bad boy who have all these dreadlocks. Love is the bad boy who smokes dope. Love is the bad boy who could give them money whenever they want. And that's love to them. And so they have a baby for him. And then about 6 or 7 months later, don't forget now, the average young man, you always talk about how, you know, sex are for young people. When you see that young man hits around 16, 17, you know, something, the hormones strikes extremely hard. And he's on a conquering mission. And so after 6 or 7 months, she has a baby for him. After 6 or 7 months, they end up splitting. And guess what happened? A next fellow comes into her life. But that baby ain't his. And then you don't know how that does end up. And most of the times, they don't treat the child because the fellow says, well, this ain't my baby. And I don't know if I really care too much for this child. Mind you, they would tell you that they love the girl, but they don't love the child. It's just a bunch of things you need to think about. I'm thinking most of these cases of child abuse end up because these girls have 2 and 3 kids. And then they end up having them for 2 and 3 different men. And it's happened before where if they get angry with the child, being with the child in the house, they just don't love the child is not theirs, and they abuse the child. And that is, in my estimation, what has created this issue. I could be wrong. But because the amount of children that's born out of wedlock in the Bahamas is outside of marriage, and women, just young women in particular, have 2 and 3 baby daddies, you know, we end up in a situation where the child could possibly be abused, or the child is left with a person who's not responsible, and they don't take care of the child properly. A child could be left with some person who has a serious issue, and we see this happening. I've seen it happen myself, where people abuse children because the child is not. I say, you can't do that though. Not because the child is not yours, you have a right to mistreat the child. Other than that, you need to get out of this relationship. If you say you love the woman, then you come into this relationship, understand that she has 2 children for another man. And it's like the young people in the talk on the street is, it's a package deal. You taking me, you taking my 2 children, yeah, they ain't your children. But if you love me, you need to love my children like you love me. You understand my point? Like, I think that could be one of the contributing factors towards the abuse.
But you have no evidence to support your theory.
I think you look at it logically, Sandra. We do have a lot of young ladies out there who have kids for more than 1 man, right?
And
then they meet a 3rd man, and then this 3rd man got to come to her with these 2 children who ain't his.
I want you to hear my side of the story now.
Go ahead, Sandra.
You have no evidence to support your theory.
I have evidence.
And the minister did not provide you with any evidence.
So what's causing this fight?
He did not. The minister did not tell us who are the women, what class they came from, what they represent. So we don't know that these are women with multiple baby daddy.
It's a possibility.
Yes, everything is possible, but do you understand the point that I make?
Yeah.
It calls for more investigation.
Scientific research.
And it calls for people who are not anti-women and anti-children who were born in multiple family relationships.
Yeah. I don't know if it's
because there is a Rastafarian that I know. Ni gish, ni goose, me gish, me guy, hello, ja! He met a woman.
What all about?
Just listen. who was 8.5 months pregnant. Every time I think about it, I'm moved by emotion. She had been abandoned by the baby daddy, but he loved her and he took her in and kept her until she gave birth.
Mm-hmm.
And he waited until she had reached a certain maturity and he married her. So he is a good Rastafarian who did not exploit her, who married her. So there are many good men who have entered relationships and they've played a good role. And then, of course, we have not explored the fact that there are many Bahamian mothers who have encouraged their sons to be irresponsible after the sons got the girl pregnant. And mom is now displeased over the fact that her son has found himself a low-class girl. And she is not prepared to encourage her son to marry and move in with her and the rest of the family. So there's a multiplicity of social reasons.
Which could include mine as well.
Which could include yours.
Sandra, you're making it seem
but
as if,
in my case,
what world you living in,
I
though?
can document mine.
Yeah, but Sandra, what world you living in?
You want some example?
You are a man who is on the street. You're a man who live in these areas where this is prevalent, where young women have children from more than one man. You've seen this. You've touched this, right? But yet still you refuse to accept my theory that there's a possibility these kids are being abused by these men who are not their fathers.
That is a possibility, but I call for further investigation because in your arguments I sense, I smell
This is not
anti-womanism.
But Sandra, you have agreed with me that in the Bahamas, and it's been printed and it's been broadcast and also announced on numerous occasions, that as it relates to children being born outside of wedlock, it is more or much more higher than children born inside of wedlock. That's the reality.
In the Americas, my spiritual advisor, let's look at the reality.
85% of the babies born in the Bahamas.
If you went,
give me a second, please, Senator. 85% of the babies born in the Bahamas are either born to Haitian women or women who are not married. 85%.
85% are born to Haitian women
or women who are
not married.
Yeah.
Who are these women who are not married? Why don't you stop?
They're Bahamians and Haitians as well.
My spiritual advisor.
I can guarantee you, Senator, if you go on the gynae ward,
my spiritual advisor,
and you look at all the pregnant women, the Haitian women are in the majority.
My spiritual advisor.
You want to test my theory?
My spiritual
You want to
advisor.
test my theory, yes or no? You want to test it?
Your theory is irrelevant. We're talking about child abuse.
I understand that.
The reality of the matter is simply this. As a result of slavery, in the Americas, black people do not get married. Don't forget now, as a result of slavery and colonialism, the black family has been disrupted. Whether or not it's in Jamaica, the Turks and Caicos, Haiti, the United States, that is a reality that will not be conquered for another 1,000 years. Because the average Bahamian woman, she will argue, the average Negro Bahamian woman, she will argue, boy, your pa ain't marry me, so you ain't gonna marry her. So that same circle continue to spin and to rotate. So all I'm saying is, as it relates to abuse, we gotta do more investigation. We have to introduce family life in our schools. We have to educate our young people. We have to educate their parents. And we have to encourage the Bahamian woman to encourage her son to be responsible and marry the woman.
Okay.
Therein lies the problem. The problem is the average
I agree with the marriage.
Bahamian woman. All right? She needs to encourage her son to get married. As simple as that. She doesn't want her son to get married. She almost wants him financially for herself. Boy, you ain't get married, you ain't get mama, you ain't buy mama a dress yet. But he got Miss Ruth's daughter big right up. So we have to tell mama them, encourage their sons to be responsible, and as soon as they reach puberty and they're ready to jump, let's marry them off. And that would be powerful. How does it sound?
Marriage is always the best way.
Yeah.
This is the right way to keep everything
And
morally
we must tell
sound.
Miles LaRoda that he's the minister responsible for babies, and if he knows that babies are being abused, he should send social services to capture the babies and to bring them all safely to him.
I think that's what they normally do.
Really?
If you get into a home and you see where the child is being abused, and for the child's own protection, you remove the child out of the environment. And of course, you have to place the child in an environment where the child is safe, because ultimately, one of the things that you should always try to do, all of us, if we have children, is try to protect them.
Right.
Because they cannot protect themselves.
Right.
So if you see where, you have adults that are being very irresponsible and not protecting the child, then you'll have to remove the child from the environment. That's why I like how the United States operate. They have a very, very stern and very interesting child protection program in place.
Okay.
And any least sign of abuse, brother, you can lose that child.
Well, I want Miles to do two things. I want him to protect the children and their mothers. That's what I want him to do. So if there is abuse of children, he must suspect that the mothers are being abused, and he must take all in protective custody. That's my position, If there is an abuse of a child, you can't take the child and let the mother wander. We take everybody into custody. And Miles, as minister, he will be emerging as the father of the baby's stem. I think it would be beautiful, because Miles, I know personally Miles LaRoda, he's a good daddy, and as the political father of thousands of children, he would be able to provide them the kind of sustenance, the kind of love and care. I think we should encourage Miles LaRoda to do God's work, take care of all the children, all right? All the children. And I want him to ensure that no woman is selling these babies, because I'm offended that I'm getting reports that on the island of Grand Bahama, they're getting ready to sell babies, and that has me very upset, okay? And that is powerful.
Yeah, and another thing that's becoming a very serious concern for the motoring public in particular is the use of these small mopeds and motorcycles by these young men who tend to, be very reckless on the streets. And we're talking about crime in particular, and how these motorcycles are used to peddle either information or contrabands throughout these various neighborhoods. It's becoming a menace. We're wondering what the police department, in particular the road traffic department, is doing with these unlicensed little small motorbikes or mopeds that are just, they're wreaking havoc on the roads. These guys are prancing in the middle of traffic, oncoming traffic. You see one wheel coming straight ahead of you. These guys don't understand, if they lose control of these little mopeds, they can come straight through your windshield. Now in this country, it's bad. It's serious that a lot of these motorcycles, they're not licensed, and these young men are just riding them all over the streets, sidewalks. They don't obey the law. They prancing in front of you, they turn in front of you, they're cutting across traffic, and you complain, but what is going to be done about this? And I'm talking about these motorcycles, they are not licensed and they're not insured. So when they get in an accident and they hit your vehicle, you're faced with having to take them to court to sue them. And it's crazy. The government needs to pay more attention.
Do you have an alternative solution?
Yes. Police officers on motorcycles can deal with them.
Well, we have to be very careful, because I do know of a case down the road from the Tribune where a young man was speeding with a girl, and all the police tell them to stop, they wouldn't stop, so the police shoot them.
We're not talking about that.
My spiritual advisor,
There's a way that they...
an example.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
a
a bad
Tribune,
one.
that's the best one I have. The police told them to stop.
Man,
the girl just threw her arms tightly around the young man, so the police got tired and he shot them. So the police finds themselves. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm just saying that's not the right way to do that.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it too much. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. God save young people everywhere. God save babies in distress. God save the King. We'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. It's powerful. Hold on. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. And of course, today it's birthday. My wife, Gina Patricia, she is celebrating a birthday today. So I thank God for my wife. And of course, she is, let's put it this way, she is on holidays in the Iltv. So, to my darling wife, happy birthday. I look forward to you joining me shortly, and this is powerful.
Okay, we got birthdays. Let's do this quickly. We got quite a bit of birthdays to do today. Miss Producer, I'm trying to find you on what's up. Let's see, 323-7775. Okay, so is this the first person we want to do the shout out to, Miss Producer? Huh? Okay, let's see, where can I find that? And that is for today, right? All right, so we want to wish Dorothy a very special happy birthday. Of course, this is coming to you from your family and your friends and those who love you dearly. They want to wish you a happy birthday. And of course, they hope you live to enjoy many, many more. So proud of you. Happy birthday and all the best to you. All right, who do we have next, Mr. Producer? All right, Lady in Red. Lady in Red. Now, you know, this What's Up thing was down, and some of them. Okay, so we want to wish a very special happy birthday to Annabelle Bow. We understand her birthday was yesterday. It's coming from her brothers, Gerald, Wendell, Fred Bow, and her daughters. And they continue to enjoy your birthday. All the best to you, and they hope you live to enjoy many, many more. So happy belated birthday to Annabelle Bow. All right, and a very special happy 13th birthday to Nazia Dane. It's coming from your loving grandparents, Clarence and Yvonne Dane, uncles Donovan and Cameron, and Auntie Dominique. Love you and enjoy your special day. Happy birthday, Nazia Dane. All right, good morning, gentlemen. Mr. Marcus Road, I'd like to give a special birthday shout out. Happy 80th birthday to an awesome father, Hilton McIntosh, Esquire. May God continue to strengthen him in his golden years. It's coming from your loving children, Celeste, Renee, Elrod, along with your grandchildren, and numerous family and relatives celebrating tomorrow, the 18th of April. All right, so it's a pre-birthday to you, Mr. Hilton McIntosh, Esquire. All the best to you, brother. Hope you live to enjoy it. Let's see. We want to send a birthday greetings to Raymond Forbes. It's coming, Raymond Forbes Sr. It's coming from your grandchildren. Your great-grandchildren, family, and friends. Enjoy the rest of the day. Raymond Forbes Sr. Happy birthday to Haronique Sands. Wishing you a year filled with love, adventure, and prosperity. That may be the wrong one. What is her name? That's okay, Haronique. Okay, happy birthday, Haronique Sands. Wishing you a year filled with love, adventure, and prosperity, coming from your daughter, Amani, your mother, grandmother, grandaunt, sisters, brothers, nieces, and nephews. They love you. Happy birthday to you. All the best to you, and enjoy your birthday. Of course, happy birthday to Monique, whose birthday is today, and Francine, celebrated yesterday, from Gerard, Shante, Farah, and CJ. So happy birthday to Monique and Francine. Enjoy your birthday and all the best to you both. All right, so happy birthday to Deborah Smith, celebrating 60th birthday today. Requests coming from the children Nikita, Ashley, Tavares, Tia, Grande, Travis, and Jaden. Your fiance Danielle, family, your fiance Daniel, family and friends. Thank you so very much. Happy birthday to Deborah Smith, who's celebrating her 60th birthday today. She looks good for 60. I can tell you that. We're going to do an 81st birthday show to Miss Sarah Storr from San Salvador. It's coming from the children and grandchildren. She's a fan of the show. So happy 81st birthday to Miss Sarah Storr. And then, of course, I want to make a public appeal. Sorry, go ahead. That's good? Okay, I want to make a public appeal to those who can donate blood to go down to the Princess Margaret Hospital Blood Bank. My sister is slated to do surgery in the morning. And so those of you who can donate blood, please go into the blood bank. Donate blood. The name is Monique Rule. Monique Rule, the family, of course, of Monique Rule would appreciate it for those who know her and would like to donate blood, please go down to the Princess Margaret Hospital Blood Bank and donate blood. I think the blood bank is open up between the hours of 8 and 4 p.m. All right, what else do we have there, Mr. Producer? Is that it? All right, what do you have, Sandra?
Well, I want once again to shout out my wife, Jenna Patricia, who's celebrating
Yes, happy birthday to your wife.
birthday today.
Yes, of course.
And I look forward to seeing you shortly. And this is powerful. I'm certain that birthday greeting comes to you from your children and grandchildren. And that is powerful.
Also, Sandra, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can find it, but I believe there's going to be, wow. Yeah, go ahead. When I find it, I'll make the announcement.
Yeah, okay.
It's supposed to be a memorial service held for the former member of Parliament for Tall Pines.
Okay.
Don Sanders.
Don.
If I'm not mistaken, that memorial may be today. Let's see. I did have it somewhere. I did have it somewhere. I'm so sorry. I don't know where I have it, but whenever I get it, I'll
just ask the FNM to send confirmation.
But if I'm not mistaken, I believe there is a memorial being planned for you. Okay, yeah, put it up for me, please. Thank you so much. There is a memorial service. It's in the 323-7775. Okay, all right. Yeah, if you can put it up so we could announce that quickly. I am almost certain I did put it in there this morning at some point. There you go, yeah. So a memorial service for Donald Don Sanders is slated to be held at 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, April the 17th at the FNM headquarters, Marquis Street. All right, so also there'll be a memorial watch in Grand Bahama at the Grand Bahama headquarters, West Atlanta Drive in Freeport, Bahamas. And there's going to be a memorial watch held in Exuma, at the Exuma FNM headquarters in Hoopers Bay, Exuma. It's going to be live on Facebook at the FNM 242 Facebook.com. So the Free National Movement is having a memorial service for Donald Don Sanders. It's going to be at 6:30 p.m., which is Wednesday, April the 17th. That's today's date, 2024, at the FNM headquarters on Marquis Street, Nassau, Bahamas. So along with the memorial service here on the island of New Providence, there's going to be a memorial watch in Grand Bahama at the Grand Bahama FNM headquarters in West Atlantic Drive, Freeport, Bahamas, and also a memorial watch in Exuma, at the Exuma FNM headquarters in Hoopers Bay, Exuma. And of course, you can watch it live on Facebook, /our FNM 242. Thank you so much, Mr. Producer. Back to you, Sandra.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monka. And this afternoon, we're going to have a special guest. I won't announce our special guest.
A pen? Oh, put your mic on. Where's your mic?
Oh, thank you. We are going to have a special guest with us this afternoon. So I won't announce the special guest until the special guest arrives in studio. So that is going to be very powerful. So I want members of the public to remain tuned in so that you can enjoy this segment of our show. So this is powerful. Have we completed, my spiritual advisor, all birthdays and all shout-outs?
I think we have.
You think we have? This is powerful, yeah.
Yeah, we've completed everything.
Okay. Yeah. So to all citizens who may have celebrated a birthday today, we wish you a very happy birthday. It's powerful. And to all people who have made a wonderful contribution today to improve the lives of other people, other citizens, we want to also salute you. And that too is going to be very powerful, so we thought we'll tell that to you. Is there any other news item, my spiritual advisor, that you perhaps would want to touch at this stage?
We've touched, the real important ones.
Okay.
I do see that there is somewhat of a concern that has now come back to the forefront, where an ex-MP is still free over $3 million life-altering money battle. Apparently, the plaintiffs, they're complaining. They're saying that, that the $3 million has really placed them in a bad situation.
What MP are you referring to?
I think it's a former MP and an ex-Supreme Court judge was yesterday said to remain free.
Are you talking about His Lordship Justice
our good friend
Elliot Lockhart?
Yeah, that's a concern now.
Has he been captured?
No. But of course,
he's still a fugitive?
I don't know if he's a fugitive,
Well, if there is a warrant for your arrest and law enforcement is unable to execute it upon you, what do you call that?
Let's see let's see if what they say here. It says a former MP and ex-Supreme Court judge was yesterday said to remain free almost 2 months after police issued a wanted poster for him over allegations he has failed to repay an investor more than $3 million.
Okay.
And so Dr. Paul, now, Mr. Medusa, they say this is Dr. Paul Fuchs. How do you pronounce that?
Fuchs.
Because I don't want Urca to put us in any problems.
My spiritual advisor, that's German.
How do you pronounce that?
Fuchs.
Okay, Fuchs. Okay, that's Dr. Paul Fuchs, whose criminal complaint against Elliot Lockhart Casey triggered the police move. Told the Tribune Business that the loss of life-altering monies has taken an incredible toll on myself and my family, and as they've been without the multi-million-dollar sum for more than a year. So speaking after the Supreme Court yesterday ruled it would not hear any further applications on the dispute by Mr. Lockhart and his law firm, Lockhart and Company, until their company is purged and they have complied with his orders. He added that it's hard to put into words how devastating the money's loss has been, but voiced optimism that justice will be done. So the Royal Bahamas Police Force is on alert. The Royal Bahamas Police Force is an alert issue on February. I don't know what they mean by in. Bahamas Police Force in an alert issued on February 20th, 2024 said it wanted to question Mr. Lockhart over accusations of fraud by false pretenses. Mr. Fuchs, who yesterday confirmed this was sparked by the complaint he filed. So, if the police wants him for questioning, what does that mean?
Well, I was under the impression that the police was acting on instructions of a justice of the Supreme Court.
Okay.
That was the impression I was under. But I don't think they should be concerned about Mr. Lockhart because we have been informed that Mr. Lockhart isn't too far from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It is being alleged, it is being suggested that he's just across the bar. So, since he's just across the bar, it's only a matter of asking the Americans to ask him if he would return to our jurisdiction. I have been informed, and I verily believe, that His Lordship, the former judge, is in Chicago.
I've heard you say that, but there's no confirmation on that, eh?
Well, do you know where he is?
I couldn't tell you.
Then you must accept what I tell you.
Okay.
Until you can tell me whether or not he is in Ragged Island.
No, that's his hometown.
There's only two places that he could possibly be. It would either be Ragged Island, the island that he loves, or Chicago.
Or it could be the Exumas.
No, he wouldn't be in Exuma.
Why not?
We wouldn't tolerate him. Yeah.
That's where he spent a lot of time as well, so it is what it is.
No, I don't want you to throw the authorities of God He's in Chicago.
He could be in Exuma.
My spiritual advisor, why are you doing this?
Well, I mean, you know.
I understand.
I mean, he is a good friend of mine, you know.
Really?
He really is, yes.
Okay.
He's a family friend. He's been friends with my father for years and years and years and years. I mean,
Okay.
this is just one of those things. I mean, I just hope he gets this matter resolved.
Okay.
You know, but anyhow.
Is there any other exciting news?
No, I mean we just touched something that's extremely important to us, and that is, of course, the increase in child abuse in this country. And I can tell you, we on the brink. If we can't find a way to deal with that, we're in trouble.
Okay.
Because it means that our future.
Pour continuer pour parler.
Pour qui ça?
Parce que malé. Yeah. C'est pas problème.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Put the camera on my spiritual advisor for a few minutes. Continue.
Yeah. So, what else could we talk about, Senator?
Well, there are so many powerful things we can talk about. We can talk about the fact that the PLP is going to stamp out gangsterism once.
Yeah, but how we intend on doing that?
By legislation.
When it's difficult sometimes to penetrate these gangs. We're trying our best to penetrate the gangs, and as a result of that, there's issues with understanding how we're going to legislate and pass laws. Anyhow, let me just read something here quickly. Anyhow, let's open the lines quickly. Just for about 7 minutes before our guests come on, Ms. Medusa, you can call in. The lines are open for about a couple minutes because on the next segment we're gonna have a special guest and we won't be able to take any calls. So you can call us 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hello.
Yes. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hi, good day. How is everybody?
Everybody's well. Thank you so much.
Okay. Two things. Mr. Monka.
You have to talk to me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question in reference to the health certificate class that is provided. I'm not sure if it's by the government.
You're doing.
I've been going to the health.
It's for food, that is.
Yeah, the food health certificate handler's course.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been going there for the past 17 years.
Okay.
I think it went up once. It's $10. But however, when we do go there, they give us a receipt for $5.
Oh, really? Now,
yes, they do.
Which location you go to? The one there on Blue Hill Road North?
Yeah. They have a different location?
No. I was just wondering because I've been there before too. So it's $5 that they give you a receipt for.
Yes, everybody.
But you actually pay 10.
Yeah, we pay 10, and then when we do it online, it's $15 online. They take off your card, and then it's $10, but they still give you a receipt for $5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why it's that, and that really bothered me. And yesterday I went there, and I noticed it's the same thing. But I'm saying if I paid $10, why are they still giving me a
receipt for $5? Yeah, that's amazing. Did you question that? Did you query it?
I asked them, and she said that's just what they do.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense. She would have had a better explanation for that, you know. But anyhow, we note your complaint, and we'll try to see how best we can get the authorities to answer that question for you, okay?
Okay, and also, too, I heard you, Mr. Spiritual Advisor, talking about the abuse towards children.
Yeah, and the increase in it.
And the increase, yes. And I know you were saying that because, not that's the only reason, but I just listened to you saying because multiple fathers are involved, you think that might be the reason why it's so high.
What do you think?
I think it's also because if you have multiple baby daddies, then you have multiple baby mothers. Okay. And you have cases where the new girlfriend don't like the child or the baby daddy.
This is true.
You understand it? And it's just we need tougher policies with these people, with children,
protecting children,
abusing children.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you heard about the situation where the child was found in Fox Hill deceased.
Right, I remember that. Yeah, they locked those parents up, didn't they?
Yeah, there. They're not locked up anymore, and that was my yard.
Oh.
That the baby was found in.
Oh.
However, I mean, a lot of people know what is going on, and they might just see people just neglecting children. Although sometimes you don't want to be a bother. Come on, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Some people are unfit, and that's okay because we have resources where children can be put inside a home that they are well taken care of.
Absolutely.
And don't let us wait until it's a baby found dead. You understand?
And I agree, which is an extreme.
Or they grow up and they are scarred
for the rest of their life.
And they become people who are victimizing children because that's a cycle. And they have to deal with this all their life.
And I appreciate your call. Absolutely. We agree with you. Thank you so much, okay, caller. 323-777-5 is the number to call. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yeah, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. How are you?
Man, bear with me for a quick second. I know it's Rushmore plenty, but let me say this first.
Yeah, okay.
You're talking about people with multiple children. My mommy had 9. Actually, I can talk with my mother. I can talk with my family. My mommy had 9 children who was never married, and none of us were never abused. Never.
But that's fortunate for you.
Never.
But that's not the case.
We never went to bed hungry. We never wear dirty clothes. We never. So that I ain't no real excuse to fight on a woman. I have 5, 6 children for 5 different men. I ain't like that one.
Well, you know.
Listen to me. I had an experience the early part of this week. My neighbor came across to me. I said, Julie, what your granddaughter doing outside so early? See, I called my name. Julie, what your granddaughter doing outside so early in the morning like this? I said, my granddaughter in here. There's a little 4-year-old girl was standing in the front of my yard. The people who she living with, they went leave her in hopes that her mother would have come, but she come right back for her. And the little girl is so sharp. I trying to tell the little girl, come inside. Because the people that live with me, anything happened, and I was the last person they saw it. So I tell her, come inside. Tell your mommy, come. She said, no, she ain't coming inside. I had a block on my porch. The little girl said, no, I can sit right on this rock. She only 4. After a while, she started talking to me. Then that girl's mother come. She go around the little girl, asking the little girl how she get her dough. Right? And you know the woman here said, tell me thanks. You know that little girl turn around and say thanks.
Yeah, that's interesting. We thank you so much for your call. We appreciate you. 323-777-5 is the number to call. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka, Senator Monka.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is Adrian, Andrew Glenn.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, I just wanted to send a shout out to the Faith Mission Mega Worship Crew. And also, we're supposed to be having a cookout on next week Saturday, which is the 27th.
Yes.
I'd like to secure 2 tickets for you and spiritual advisor.
Well, I thank you, and I'm certain the spiritual advisor also thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Andrew.
But we have fish and chicken. I don't know which 2 you guys want me to secure.
It doesn't matter.
I think, I'll take the fish.
And I'll take the chicken.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, too.
All right, take care. We're coming to the end of the segment. Okay, welcome to Freedom March Caller.
Good afternoon. How you gentlemen do today?
We got a couple seconds. You got to go fast.
Mr. Roll, I'd like to get your number. I'm trying to reach you on the matter, sir.
814-6096.
814.
6096. 814-6096.
Thank you, sir.
You're more than welcome.
This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. We're going to have a special guest when we return. Please stay. All right? Hold on, everybody. This is powerful. Rodney Roll. God save our blessed King. This is powerful.
We on lockdown, just like before, Every other weekend, lockdown some more, Freedom March brought me Moncur. About to do his thing and address the country concerns. Lockdown, baby, lockdown, baby. This is powerful. Lockdown, baby, with Rodney Moncur. Lockdown, baby, this is powerful. Lockdown, baby,
There's nothing new for it. In the mainland, there's been a research. We have to lock the country down. Tourism is important, but not now. Problems in America. Keep the tourists out of town. Keep the hotels locked down. Cause COVID-19 don't mess around.
Lockdown, baby, this is powerful. Lockdown, baby, with Rodney Moncur. Lockdown, baby, this is powerful. Lockdown, baby,
Marcus, come here. Don't you know it's lockdown time? Get over here. Booyaka!
Welcome back to Freedom March. We're going to do an announcement that's coming from the Free National Movement headquarters. We understand that this afternoon, around about 6:30, there's going to be a memorial is going to be held for Donald Sanders. Don Sanders. It's slated to be held this afternoon at 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, April the 17th, 2024. And this is going to be at the Free National Movement headquarters. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, simultaneously, while this memorial is being held on the island of Providence, there's also going to be a memorial watch that's going to be held in Grand Bahama as well. Grand Bahama F&M headquarters, which is West Atlantic Drive, Freeport, Bahamas, and also a memorial watch is going to be held in Exuma. That's going to be at the Exuma F&M headquarters in Hoopers Bay, Exuma, Bahamas. And also you may, well, it seems if you can watch this live on facebook.com/our FNM 242. So we're going to continue with taking some calls until our guest comes in. So the numbers to call is 323-7775. Is the number to call 698-0775 698-0776. You can call us. We did cover quite a bit of subjects today. Maybe you'd like to talk about the increase in child abuse that's going on in the country that's affecting us. Of course, it's affecting the future, our kids. So call us, 323-7775 is the number to call, 698-0775 and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March. Call your life.
Good afternoon. I'm calling in reference to this child abuse situation and the sale of babies. I feel like some of the times, right, that your younger mothers get into situations when they have kids and they want to go out from one place to the next, and then they try to drop it on someone, and someone else today, tomorrow, it's the other person.
Right.
And this is how it get involved, that the other person who keeps the baby feel as if they own the baby so they could get the baby, especially if the child, like the man said on the radio, the child is a foreign-born baby. That's a meal ticket. Once you get on, the baby getting to say she's straight for life.
Yeah, but
maybe that's the reason. That's my 5 cents.
Okay.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 698-0776. You can feel free to call us. The lines are open. There are a couple of topics we talk about today: child abuse, and of course, dealing with some other matters as well. 323-7775 is the number to call, 698-0775 and 698-0776. Mr. Somebody sent in a late birthday request. They bothered me to do it. I guess I'm going to have to do this. We want to do a happy 14th birthday shout out to this. His name is Travon Dawson. Do you see it, Mr. Producer? Yeah, Trevon Dorset. We want to do this for you. It is a bit late, but we'll still do it. Happy birthday shout out to you. It's coming from your mom, your family, and your friends. Enjoy your birthday with perfect health, love, divine favor, peace of mind. Love you coming from your mom. She appreciates you. My blessed alpha male. So happy birthday, happy 14th birthday to Keanu Trey Vaughn Dorset. Yeah, that's the name. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. We have a call. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Hello.
Hello, you live, caller.
How you doing?
Yes, ma'am, I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm fine. I calling you about a lady live close by me. She has small children.
Okay.
And this house. The house is more like an apartment.
Okay.
I called social service a few times.
Right.
They never came. And she's go lock up the house in the night.
Okay.
I called the police. The police never came. And this was going on over 2 years. And none of the children go to school, never been to school.
Okay. Okay. So have you called social services about this problem?
I call them on numerous occasions.
And they failed to answer?
Yes, they don't come.
Okay, so what I need you to do, pass this information on to me, okay? Take my number, 814-609-6096. I will get this information to Miles Larudo.
Okay.
All right, so 814-6096 is my number.
Okay, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day. Let's hold the calls for now. You can put it back to Ms. Monica. We do have a guest, so we're going to introduce our guest in a couple of minutes.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. Come right around, madam. Yeah. You gentlemen, you all can come inside. Close the door. Somebody can go over there and close the door. Yeah. Great. Great. This is great. Well, folks, welcome back again to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and today I have a special guest with us. She happens to be the Charge d'Affaires of the Embassy of the United States of America, and so I'm honored and blessed to welcome Her Excellency Ursha Pitts. Madam Pitts, welcome to Freedom March.
Well, before I say anything else, I hope that you will call me Usha, and I hope that I can call you Rodney.
You may call me Rodney.
I only have 48 hours left in the Bahamas.
Really?
So we have a short time to develop this friendship.
This is powerful. Well, Mr. Producer, she has 48 minutes to remain in the Bahamas, so let's give her a good send-off. If it pleases you, the national anthem of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Well, I thank you, Mr. Producer. So, Miss
Usha.
Once again, welcome. You've been the Charge d'Affaires here in the Bahamas representing the government of the United States of America. How has been your term?
Yes, I've been representing the United States for over 3 years now.
Yes.
We got here on Christmas Eve And it was still full-on COVID, so it took a while before I could even get to know the country. Every Bahamian, I met was like, well, you have to get out to the family islands. But, we were in lockdown then. We couldn't travel, couldn't do much. But once we came out of that, it became a really wonderful experience because as a diplomat, having a relationship with another country that is a democracy.
Yes.
And we understand each other, we're neighbors.
Yes.
I mean, it made it one of the most pleasant diplomatic relationships I've ever had in my 26-year career.
Wow.
Yeah.
As it relates to COVID, doing your, I don't know, I should say your leadership or your
tenure.
Your tenure, that's the word.
Yeah, that's neutral.
You played a very significant role in terms of assisting the Bahamas in the fight against COVID-19. I do know that you assisted our country in importing quite a lot of vaccination. You want to say something about that? Because I really want to thank you. I am a beneficiary of that vaccine. Tell us something about it.
Yes, because this is how we know each other, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you still have your COVID bracelet?
I do.
You still wearing it?
I'm still wearing it. Yeah, I'm still wearing it. There's one there. And there is the other one. It's trapped under my suit, but it's here. I'm wearing it.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
These are what you put on my hands.
Yeah. When it must have been the time we met.
Yes.
Outside the vaccination center.
Yes.
You were there with your crew and your wife, and you were dancing.
Yes.
And I think my colleague Ralph McKinney, who works at the embassy, I think he said, "Oh, Rodney's over at the vaccination site. Let's go meet him."
Right.
And that's how we met.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was great. It was fantastic. I note that the embassy has built a very huge embassy, if I can say it that way.
Yes.
Come, Mama. Perhaps you will tell us why the Bahamas and give us the relationship, because for me, the construction, I think it costs about $330 million. It is a clear message to the Bahamas that there is a powerful relationship between the people of the United States and the people of the Bahamas. Yeah. How is that emerging?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it breaks my heart that I am leaving a few weeks before we actually move into the new building. Because if you've been down Shirley Street and you see it there, the cladding has come down, the curtains have come down, the lights have come up. It's a beautiful property. It really is, and it makes me super proud to know that the United States has chosen to reflect our relationship with that building.
Right.
It's very symbolic.
Right.
We have had diplomatic relations with the Bahamas since independence.
Yes.
So you celebrated your 50th independence, and we celebrated 50 years of diplomatic relations.
Wow.
So it was important. The United States gets that.
Yes.
About 10 years ago, they realized that the building we were working out of just was not up to snuff. Our staff has been growing. We have 100 Bahamians and 100 Americans who work for the U.S. Embassy, and we needed space.
Yes.
And luckily, this was long before my time, luckily somebody had the foresight to identify a property, which used to be Jones Communications, in downtown Nassau.
Yes.
So that instead of being, out in the suburbs or out, whatever, we made sure that the U.S. presence was felt in downtown Nassau.
In the capital.
And was accessible.
Right.
So that Bahamians could come in there and see it and come to us for services or meetings or, whatever it was. So whoever made that decision to kind of keep us in downtown Nassau, bless them, because I am super proud that it is right there overlooking the harbor.
Yes.
We are here with the people.
Yes. So I want to stray just a little. Are we safe as it relates to some of the talk that if we upset Florida, we could be facing military attack? Are we safe?
I think there is no reason for any Bahamian to fear the United States.
Okay.
I remember you once describing yourself as an entertainer, and I appreciate that now, because that was rather entertaining, if unfortunate exchange
yes.
Over the hypothetical attack on the Bahamas.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you're safe.
We're safe.
You're safe.
This is powerful.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to hear that. So, how did the people treat you? What was, did you enjoy the culture? What has been your experience?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I told you, we couldn't travel much at first,
yes.
but once we could, then it was no holds barred. I got out to see most of the really beautiful family islands, the ones that have people on them, everything from Cat Island, Long Island, all the way down to Great Anagua, over to Andros. I love Eleuthera. I think my reception everywhere I've gone has been wonderful. People think I'm Bahamian.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, so they always think
when
I'm from Eleuthera.
When I met you,
yeah.
I thought you were from Eleuthera.
Yeah, everybody thinks that.
Yeah. But you're not Bahamian.
Some people insist that they know my family.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure you don't, but they insist.
Right.
So I fit right in. I think my favorite spots are probably Governor's Harbor in Eleuthera and the west end of Grand Bahama. Those places really speak to me.
Tell me something that I didn't ask you.
Okay.
Is there something that you want to tell the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that perhaps I did not ask?
Well, how deep you want to go? I mean,
as far as you are allowed diplomatically to go. Yeah.
Well, I think something that's very present in my mind, because I just had a wonderful event at the University of the Bahamas,
yes.
Attended by Minister Glynis Hannah Martin,
yes.
and Allison Maynard Gibson, who's
yes.
the chair of the board.
Yes.
And we were there talking about the position of women in society.
Yes.
And I really, if there's one thing I could do more of or encourage more of, it would be women's participation in politics
yes.
in this country,
yes.
so that the Bahamas can make full use of the human resources that are available here. Everybody knows that Bahamian women are terrific,
mm-hmm.
strong, responsible, hardworking, capable. So we just need to have more of them actually active in the actual running of the country. I think it would be good for the Bahamas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And what about men?
Oh, I like men.
Okay. And you see, I'm not trying to be controversial.
You're trying to make me say I submit to my husband.
Do you?
He doesn't want that kind of woman.
You help me figure right out. Help me out, because I'm not used to interviewing a diplomat, so
okay.
I'm trying to avoid being too controversial.
Okay.
So I want to give you more latitude to lead the discussion.
Okay.
So lead me along.
Well, I should just say that the reason I'm here today is that I've learned a lot about the Bahamas from you.
Yes.
And, when I first got here, my colleagues at the embassy, my Bahamian colleagues, listened to your show.
Really?
Yeah, so I started listening to your show, and
okay.
I also listened to Guardian Talk Radio and all that. So I just wanted to thank you for just introducing me, giving me a chance to hear directly from Bahamians. So I learned a lot. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is
yes.
that a few weeks ago, you regularly have the Minister of National Security on your show.
Yes.
And Minister Monroe and we collaborate very closely on questions of security. We really worked to modernize our partnership,
yes.
right? It's not just, helicopters and donated cars. Like, there's a lot we can do strategically. And when I saw him on the show, I was like, you know what? I want to come on the show too.
This is great.
Yeah.
I'm so saddened that you didn't come earlier. What I want to do early, because I don't want time to run out on me, one of the woman them, mm-hmm. upon learning that you would be my special guest, she petitioned me. Oh. She told me she was a great admirer of you. and she's asked me to give to you this book, which is called Flying the Pride. It's a book written by Dr. Cheryl Strawn. It's on the Bahamian flag.
Oh.
All right?
That's cool.
So, and I told her she's a woman who accepts my leadership, and she told me that she just loves you. She loves what you stand for. Dr. Cheryl Strawn. And then, of course, we here at Freedom March, we want to give you this award. We were moved by the fact that you have aided the country in the fight against the pandemic, COVID-19, and the fact that your leadership and the contribution of the United States of America has led here in the Bahamas to winning the battle against COVID-19. So I hope you would accept
absolutely
this award.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you.
So God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we thought we'll share that with you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. You've got your name on it too. This is great. This means a lot to me.
Well,
I've been listening to you for 3 years now, so now I got my own plaque with your name on it.
There are times in this diplomatic world there can be a little row between the Bahamas and America, but when our backs are pushed against the wall, every citizen expects that the United States will come to our aid. Mm-hmm. And that has been demonstrated as recent as 1980 with HMBS Flamingo. Mm-hmm. And we've seen it in more modern times. So, notwithstanding little political row from now and then, I think every Bahamian knows that we are America and America is us. In fact, many of us actually came from the United States. You may not have heard that before.
No.
Yeah. If you were to study the history of Abaco, many Abaconians came from North Carolina at a point when we remained loyal to His Majesty, King George III, and we came to the Bahamas with our slaves and settled in the Abacos. So many of our citizens, black and white, came from North Carolina. So that's a piece of history that I wanted to share with you. But I'm enjoying your talk, so talk to me.
Well, I think a lot of, I've heard about the story of the Loyalists, and I've seen them on the Keys and everything, but technically from America, also the Seminoles went to Andros.
That is true.
That's kind of a cool story that I think a lot of people didn't know. I only learned it recently. There was an American anthropologist who wrote a book about her time in Red Bays in Andros.
Yes.
That's a really cool story too.
In fact, I'm related to some of them. I don't know if there's a dentist by the name of Dr. Nigel Lewis.
Oh, I don't go to the dentist.
He's my maternal first cousin.
I haven't been to the dentist
He is
in a
a
while.
direct descendant of those Indians.
Oh, really? From Andros or from the Seminole?
From the Seminoles who came into Andros. Yeah.
Wow, excellent. Okay, yeah. There are little pockets like that. That's very interesting.
Right. So, is it a diplomatic secret where you're going?
Not in the least. And in fact, I'm glad you brought it up, because one thing I admire about you is your constant efforts to draw attention to the Haitian presence in the Bahamas and Haitian contributions to the Bahamas.
Yes.
So you won't be surprised to hear my next assignment is to Haiti.
Really?
Yes.
Tout le monde haïtien! Comment This is powerful. Do you speak Haitian Creole?
I don't speak Creole and I don't speak French, but I've been in that situation before and I can get it. I'm more concerned about supporting the Kenyan effort, working with our international partners, including the Bahamas, to bring stability to Haiti, to our Haitian brothers and sisters.
Very interesting indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a great introduction here to the Bahamas.
Right.
In the Bahamas, I learned a lot about the issues,
Right.
Working on migration and trafficking, and so
Right.
I'm taking a lot of that knowledge with me to Haiti, where I hope we can do a good job.
Yeah. Well, I think we're coming to almost to the end of the show. So, are you going to bid the Bahamian people farewell?
Oh gosh, don't make me don't make me embarrass myself. It has been very difficult the last few days to think that I've spent 3 years in this country, and now I have to say goodbye to, I think, what has got to be the most beautiful place on earth. Thank you, Bahamas.
Well, I want to thank you.
Yeah.
God save the United States of America. God save Ursha Pitts. God save our blessed King, King Charles III, and the entire royal family. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Do well.
Thank you, Rodney.
Until we meet again,
Yes.
God bless you. This is powerful, everybody.
This is powerful.